Hey everyone, I'm going to be doing a cultural and theological assessment on subscription services, and we'll be doing this by examining the world behind subscription services, the world of subscription services, and the world in front of subscription services. And in the end, we're going to do our theological evaluation on what I believe are like three main messages or three main themes that the world of subscription services is portraying about the world or the way that the world should be. And those three themes are busyness, convenience, and instant gratification. So we'll wrap up this video on assessing those things from a theological perspective on how does the Christian respond to those things, how do those things fit into the biblical framework or the Christian worldview. So to begin, we're going to look into the world behind subscription services. So it's really looking into like where did subscription services come from? How did they begin? Well, what did they look like? And they've actually been around for a long time. Obviously, subscription services in 2019 looks quite a bit different from like subscription services in the 1950s because of the amount of products that are available now. But subscription services originally started out with like magazines, newspapers, and even like local food delivery like milk. Even in 1955, Columbia Records had this like Columbia Records Club. There was like a vinyl subscription where they would mail a vinyl to people. And in 1955, they had 125,000 subscription customers. And it went all the way to 1996, where they had 16 million subscription customers. So obviously there was a very, very obvious growth in that time. In our current day and time, a place called Birchbox was really like the first subscription service to emerge, where they would ship a variety of things. They started out with about 45,000 subscription customers in 2010, and by 2012 they had over 800,000 subscription customers, and that's like a 1,700% overall increase. So there's obvious growth in there and popularity. Subscription services overall in 2013, a study was done that said that there were 722,000 website hits for any website that offered a subscription service, compared to 2016 it was 21.4 million website hits. So obviously that has to do, and that really shows the popularity of subscription services, how that has grown. But it's also shown just the amount of different subscription services that have been created to get that number so high in just a 3-year span. So that's the world behind subscription services. The world of subscription services, we're going to look at just like what does subscription service portray or communicate about how the world is or how the world should be. We're going to look at the themes of busyness, the themes of convenience, and the theme of instant gratification. The theme of busyness really has to do with like the average American or the average person is so busy, is so consumed, has so many things going on in their daily, weekly, monthly schedule that they don't have time to do, daily tasks and errands like getting food or groceries, or getting like beauty products, or getting pet supplies for their dog. So there's this world that people are so busy, subscription services helps to like fix that. So even like the reality of like most people are on their phones or have their phones on them at all times, subscription services make it so easy now that we can bypass the busyness by accessing those services even on our phones to get what we want when we want it, to really help ease this busy lifestyle that we have. Secondly, the world of subscription services really is communicating a world of convenience and efficiency, where kind of tied into like what I just said, like the fact that we can access subscription services and like the details of our account, the things that we want, when we want to get it, where we want those things shipped to, really is showing a world that is convenient and also runs efficiently. And then lastly, I believe that the world of subscription services shows a world of instant gratification, which is kind of a negative thing in my opinion, which we'll evaluate that during our theological assessment section, but because we have like on demand delivery, we have like 2-day delivery. Like I can click something right now online on my computer or on my phone. It can be here in 2 to 3 days. If I wanted to be here tomorrow, I can pay like a few extra bucks. Even with like things like a Netflix and Hulu, that we have like instant access to stream all these shows and all these things that we used to have to wait for. To where the world of subscription services is portraying like you can get what you want it, and you can get it now, or you can get it as quickly as you want it if you're willing to pay a certain price. So the world of subscription services is communicating a world that is busy. It's also communicating a world that needs to be convenient and run efficiently, and it communicates a world where where instant gratification is very prevalent, meaning like I can get what I want when I want it. Of the world in front of subscription services. So like, how has subscription services influenced us as people, or influenced like society as a whole? I think overall there's been like a domino effect of subscription services, meaning like Birchbox was started in 2010. You look at all the subscription services that we have now in 2019, that there was this article that I read that had like the top 20 subscription services for 2019. So that's just like 20, which is like a small drop in the massive ocean of all these companies that are offering subscription services. Even HelloFresh, which is like a grocery and meal prep subscription services, their success actually caused places like Blue Apron and Plated to emerge within that same market of like grocery subscription service. So there's been this obvious like domino effect, and it's even caused big companies like Amazon and Walmart to get in the game, because they're realizing like they're losing money because all these services are meeting needs and getting it to people quicker and easier. So they've jumped in the ballgame as well. And then kind of a negative influence in like the world in front of is what I kind of stated a few minutes ago on instant gratification. I think that has created things like subscription services and this just on demand, getting things so quickly. I think it's kind of negatively influenced us as people of like instant gratification of like I expect to get things when I want them, and I don't think that's always a healthy expectation to have, because I think that kind of like falls over into other parts of our lives as well. So we'll move on to a theological evaluation of the world of subscription services. We'll first look at busyness. I believe the whole thought of busyness, it connects to the biblical framework, but it also doesn't fall into it completely. So I'll explain that. So Proverbs 4:23 is a great verse on hard work. It says, all hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. To where biblically, and I think scripture makes this very clear, like we should be busy with hard work. Like we should be busy with our job. We should be busy in working hard to support our families financially so we can get the things that we need. So busyness that is connected to hard work, I believe, is a good thing. The negative side of busyness that I believe doesn't agree with like what I believe as a Christian is that there's this busyness that is connected to having an overcommitted schedule and having way too much going on, to where I'm so busy, I'm off balance, I'm not really resting. And scripture makes it clear that rest is important. Having balance in life is extremely important. So, busyness, when it's connected to I'm working hard at my job, I'm working hard to support my family. Even within that busyness, we still have balance. We still have rest. It's when we're off balance, when we have so much going on, when our schedule is chaotic and stressful, that's not what the Lord would have for us. Secondly, with convenience and efficiency, I believe both those things fit in the biblical framework. You can look at the parable of the talents in the book of Matthew, and it really shows how when we find ways to be more efficient with what we've been given, and that like the Lord honors that, and He looks at that and He says that that's a good thing. So if we as Christians attempt to make things within our world more convenient for people and more efficient so that other people can benefit, I believe that that's a good thing. I don't think Scripture would speak against being a good steward and trying to live like more wisely to do things better. I think that's a very good thing. Thirdly, instant gratification. I don't believe like that's something that the Lord would desire for us to have. As you look at Scripture, the words patience and waiting are like very common themes throughout Scripture. And you look in the world now, and like I struggle with this too. Of like I want what I want now, like I need it now, and like I just throw patience and waiting out the window. That's not what the Lord wants for us. Galatians 6 verse 9, it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And that verse is talking about our actions and our choices, and serving within God's kingdom, and not becoming discouraged if we feel like our life or like influencing people, like the things we're doing aren't making a difference. That falls over into other parts of our life as well, where like growth takes time, maturity takes time, and learning how to be patient and learning how to wait are good things. I think that ties over into like simple things like I want to buy this new thing, but you know what? I realize I need to save money up to do that. I'm not gonna give into instant gratification and put myself into debt just so I can have what I want when I want it. Patience and waiting are extremely important. So this guy named Jeff Robinson really had a great quote on the importance of waiting and being patient with our spiritual lives. He says, "As difficult as it can be, waiting builds spiritual muscles in a unique manner," and I totally agree with that. So, that the theme of like instant gratification, I don't believe that's something the Lord wants us to have. I think Scripture makes it clear we need to learn the importance of being patient. We need to learn the importance of waiting and not always feeling like I deserve it, I have to have this right now. That we need to be patient and wait. And there's a lot of healthy growth that comes with that. So that's my cultural and theological assessment of subscription services.